Welcome to a King Series energy check-in. Haven't done this in a while. Hopefully this will reach those that need to reach it and have been following the King Series. We'll take a look at the King and Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. So let's get a card for this King, right? King, usually known as the King of Pentacles or King of Cups, and they have the Hierophant in reverse, right? What about the Queen of Pentacles? Okay, Queen of Pentacles has the Ten of Wands. All right. So some difficulty there. What about the Queen of Cups? Queen of Cups has the Chariot in reverse. Okay. Let's check out what the energy is. We're going to start off with this King, right? The Hierophant in reverse. Why is that the energy that we have for the King at this time? So we've got the Six of Pentacles. Okay. King of Cups showing up. So the King is saying hi. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Magician, and the Eight of Swords in reverse. Okay. Feels like there's a lot of obligation, a lot of needing to give. There's a lot of requirement in the energy. This King does it, though, out of commitment, loyalty. They do it out of intention, honestly. There's an intention here when they do this. It is not them doing it, you know, from a negative or bad space. It's them doing it because this is, I guess, what they feel is the obligation, right? Is it necessarily what they really desire to do? Probably not, just with that Magician in reverse and with that Six of Pentacles, but it's like it is what it is type energy where they feel that this is where they need to give. So, I mean, it's up for debate. For some, you might say, well, this King is doing it, but they are being forced to, so it's not really sincere or intentional. But on the other hand, sometimes, even if it's not what we desire, but we commit ourselves to what we're doing, it is still intention, right? That's what we have for this King. We're going to go by character, and so I want to see a little more about this King's energy. Okay. See more about this King's energy. Offer. Okay. Well, I mean, I see that this King has had a realization that whatever is their energy now, whatever they are having to contend with, is probably karmic in some way, meaning they know that this is probably what is meant for them. They do feel that it kind of balances out the way that things are working out for them. I feel like to them, they feel like, if I were to voice what a King is kind of thinking, it's like the thought of, well, I'm doing it, you know, I'm here, I'm showing up, right? And it is true that it is as if they should be congratulated or applauded for this effort. At the same time, obviously, whoever's on the receiving end of this would not feel like it is something to feel successful about, because of the sense of being obligated to do so, right? But this is a King that in their mind, they're thinking, well, it is what it is. I'm showing up. This is where I am. I'm doing the best that I can. It's all those kinds of thoughts that are kind of in this King's energy, okay? Let's get further clarification for this King. Yeah, strong karmic energy, guys. Okay, so for those that are not wholly familiar with the King series, the King series is something that started quite a few years ago, and I did not name it. It was named by the people that resonated with the readings, and they titled it the King series, which I thought was very very cool and creative. But this is a king that is in a commitment with the Queen of Pentacles and found love with the Queen of Cups, but they are in separation from a Queen of Cups, choosing the commitment they have with this Queen of Pentacles, trying to honor the obligation. So, you know, if you didn't have the full picture, now you do, okay? And now you probably understand what the energy is. And there's that wedding rings card. So this king, it is a karmic relationship, this connection with this Queen of Pentacles, right? It is a challenging connection that, despite everything, they do not see themselves being separated from, because of the strong obligatory feeling that they have towards this commitment, and towards the responsibility that they feel they carry. This is where they're choosing to be. Now, does that mean that they will not feel certain things or feel certain ways? Obviously, that's not the case. This king is showing heartbreak. This king is showing love call because they miss this Queen of Cups. They want to speak to this Queen of Cups. They feel heartbroken about it. And I feel like this king feels that they would probably find their paradise, right? Their happiness with a Queen of Cups, but they are in this karmic relationship. And as of yet, we don't have like a clear end to where this all goes. For now, we're kind of doing like check-ins and daily readings and energy, kind of an overview of the energy when we do it, but we don't really see where any of it goes, right? Will there be a future for this king and this Queen of Cups? Who knows? But for now, the choice is this, okay? And so this is the energy of this king. Now, we are going to take a look at this Queen of Cups, who is carrying the Ten of Wands energy in reverse, okay? Okay? All right. Empress energy for this Queen of Pentacles. And this has been the energy for a bit, because this king has really chosen this commitment, as they should. Their time, their effort, their energy is in this commitment. Does not mean that they don't maybe have feelings the way that they do, but everything that they have is being put here. And I feel like it's paying off in some way, you know, all the effort this king is making, because we've been seeing how this Queen of Pentacles has been feeling more relaxed, you know. They're allowing themselves to get comfortable again. Things are not as hard as they once were. They feel like this king has more sincerity, you know. And so right now, this is a Queen of Pentacles. It does feel like their connection with this king is successful right now, because they are not experiencing any of that tumultuous, you know, negative, heartbreaking energy that this king used to carry on a daily basis. And if you go back to the past readings that I have here on YouTube about the King series, especially if we look into the Queen of Pentacles energy and this king, you're going to see the dynamic of the way that this king was, and you will see the progress that has been made. This is a king that used to really let themselves show just how difficult and unhappy it was for them. But that's not the case today. Feels like a king that does make the effort to try to be as sincere and as intentional and as giving as possible to this Queen of Pentacles. And like I said, it's paying off, because this is a Queen of Pentacles that kind of feels safe now, right? Definitely not as hard as it once was. Let's get more for a Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. The date card there. Ooh. Okay. Oh my, lots of energy for the Queen of Pentacles. Let's see. Well, let's describe a bit more here. Okay. I mean, I feel like a Queen of Pentacles is trying to keep it together. They're trying to do their best to keep it together too. I'm getting a sense that they they put forth the intention and the invitation to connect with this king more. So I wouldn't be surprised if this king and queen of Pentacles they were making efforts to go on date nights, right? To spend more time together, to try to come back to that past energy that they used to carry together when everything felt aligned. I feel like a Queen of Pentacles is no longer fearing to make that effort. I can see that they actually do. But they try very hard not to show their fears, their hesitations. I think because they feel like if they show any kind of negative or negativity or fear, that it might open a door for this king to open up feelings that they haven't been showing to this Queen of Pentacles, right? All that negative energy we were talking about. So it's like they're being very careful how they're acting so that this king feels comfortable with them, if that makes sense. Which is a little funny because they are in a commitment. It's been a long-standing commitment. They've built a family. They have this family dynamic. Yet this is a Queen of Pentacles that knows how sensitive all of it is. They know how they have to approach it in such a way where they don't rock the boat. They know this. And so I can see a Queen of Pentacles feeling better and safe at this time, but being very careful as well with how they're approaching this king. They're making a lot of effort with this king to get back to the way that things were. Like I said, not surprised if there were date nights, not surprised if there was effort in that way with this king. I think it still shocks this king that, this queen, that this king was the way that they were. This negativity or heartbreak or whatever that they were showing to this Queen of Pentacles, that didn't have anything to do with this Queen of Pentacles. I feel like this Queen of Pentacles is still shocked by that. They don't show that. Obviously, poker face, they don't. But I think deep down, they're kind of like, I feel like they were shocked by that. And then they're now a little bit shocked about the turnaround. How that's not how their energy is anymore. But the fact that they know that that kind of energy exists within this king is why they're being so careful. They don't want to give this king a reason to maybe go back to past feelings or whatever kind of, energy that was that they used to carry. They're just being very careful of their actions. So let's take a look further. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Again, this is not a Queen of Pentacles that is going to risk the peace or the calm that has been achieved in the connection. They do not deign to discuss any kind of difficult or burdensome issues right now. It feels like all they want is to heal themselves in this connection. They talk with this king, but they only talk to a certain point. It feels very surface level. What I'm saying is they're not going to ask this king, so why were you so, why were you so heartbroken? Or what was the pain that you felt? Why were you acting that way? How come this? Why that? They're not going to open that up. If they talk about things that, they find there will be like mutual interest in, that won't sacrifice the peace that they've created here. I feel like they try to keep it light. They try to keep it affectionate, loving. It's like it's like a Queen of Pentacles that wants to put their best foot forward, not give this king a reason to stop being the way that they are right now. I gotta say though, it is working, I think, but I think for the most part, this is a king that just has learned how to really keep certain feelings, cornered or in a box. Like they know how to just compartmentalize, I think. And So this is a Queen of Pentacles that has no idea that this is actually still something this king feels. This king is they feel whatever they feel it deep inside. They do not allow it to get to the point where this Queen of Pentacles can see it. That's what I'm getting. So let's look at this Queen of Cups. They have the Chariot in reverse. Okay, why? Okay. Well, okay. Well, that's surprising energy because, you know, a Chariot in reverse kind of speaks of, you know, maybe no movement, no progress. But I kind of feel like it's trying to say that the Queen of Cups right now is actually progressing, just not in the way that maybe they thought, or maybe the way this king thought. Because there's something about the energy for a Queen of Cups. Right now, they're feeling very inspired. They're taking all kinds of action. They're looking towards the future. And it feels like they've made this choice to maybe not progress in a certain direction or in certain kinds of behaviors because they have something else that's inspiring them, right? There's something else here that is making it so that they move forward, but creating stability towards a better future of some sort, okay? I feel like they are saying no to anything that stops me from progressing or moving forward. So that's what I'm seeing for a Queen of Cups. Let us get more cards for a Queen of Cups and see what other energies they might be carrying. Okay, you have the Not Enough card, Camera card, one more. Okay. So, you know, this is a Queen of Cups right now where I think what they have in their head is that they do not feel enough for this king. In some ways it is self-sabotaging because it's like they're telling themselves a story here where, yeah, I'm not enough. And every time they think back to this connection, I think they just feel bad. That's why there's such a strong sense of I'm moving forward. I'm going to take action towards my future. Like everything is about how they're going to help themselves, which is not wrong. It's just an explanation as to why the energy is what it is. They're trying to rebuild themselves. They're trying to work on themselves. They're trying to repair whatever damage maybe has been created in their life. I gotta say though, this Queen of Cups is showing me energy that if this king were to reach out, they would entertain it. I'm just going to be honest. Like, so if you're this Queen of Cups, you know, you're in this energy, but I think it's that thing that I talk about where you might have closed the door, but you left the window open for this king. Is that right or wrong? At this point, it's not for me to say just yet. We're just kind of looking at the energy to see how a Queen of Cups is thinking, feeling, whatever is going on for them. And I feel like that's what's happening here. Okay. But there is a strong intention to work on themselves, to repair themselves. You know, do they want to repair this connection with this king? I mean, yes. It's just plain, blunt answer is yes. That's what I'm seeing, honestly. I mean, there's all this energy. So I guess that's why that Chariot is in reverse too, because despite the fact that they have all this energy, intention, and action towards moving forward, this holds them back still. That's why they're not progressing fully, I guess, right? What else do we need to see for this Queen of Cups? Yep, soulmates, the Sword and the Rose, the Camera. The Camera card is very strong. So there's a lot of nostalgia going on in the energy right now. This is a Queen of Cups that could be thinking a lot about this king. They could really be in their feelings about this king. Okay. But you know, see, that's the thing, isn't it? They have all this energy they carry. They are very nostalgic. They feel like this king is their soulmate and all of that stuff. But they recognize how it's over, that there's no second chances, that this will not lead to anything. They recognize all that, but they feel what they feel, which, you know, you can feel both things at the same time. You can feel love for this king, but also recognize that it's going nowhere. You can still want to move forward, but still be held back by your feelings. I mean, it's human. So I guess right now for this Queen of Cups, right, they are very much nostalgic right now, and I don't know if it's because of the transits or the moon cycles or whatever. There's a lot of nostalgia, and Queen of Cups, it's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, water energy, right? I think we have like some kind of retrograde in Cancer, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. And maybe that's why there's all this camera energy. There's all this reminiscing, nostalgia, and memories. But again, with the Grim Reaper card tells me that this is a Queen of Cups that is very well aware of where the connection stands, of how it is over. But they feel what they feel, right? They're just being true to themselves, is I think what this Queen of Cups is trying to say. Okay. That is the energy that is being carried in the King series for this King, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. I do want to get a love card for each, okay? And then just a general guidance card. So King has the finances and career and romantic feelings card. So financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, and your feelings are real and worth exploring with romantic feelings there. What about this Queen of Pentacles? Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Okay, what about the Queen of Cups? Queen of Cups has 2 cards also. It says, love yourself first in passion. So your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive, and allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. I like the guidance here. I do want to get this deck, well, this Archangel Michael guidance card for this King. What is the guidance for this King? This is your life's purpose. It says, Archangel Michael, you know the details of my divine life purpose, and I ask you to help me be aligned with my goals. Please clearly guide my actions so that I'm taking the best steps to fully manifest my wonderful and meaningful career. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, this situation is already resolved. It says, I give any worries, cares, and concerns to you in exchange for true peace in all ways. Thank you for resolving this situation in a divinely perfect way. Now for the Queen of Pentacles, let's see. Your path and inner child. So for the Queen of Pentacles, we have, Dear Lord, help me trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. And it says, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. Inner child. Okay. What about this Queen of Cups? We have outrageous openness and liberation. Dear love, open me to your will, release me from my attachments, surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed, and I am open to receive. Liberation, the doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. So that is what we have. I'm going to pull a zodiac for each. Cancer for the King, Leo for the Queen of Pentacles, Scorpio for the Queen of Cups, and Pisces could resonate for all 3 characters. Lastly, we have Sagittarius could resonate for all 3 characters, and the number 2. So I hope this King Series energy check-in was helpful. Till the next one.